There's a reason mirrors feel heavier at night, not just glass. They don't just reflect, they remember. Every face that has leaned too close, every breath that fogged the surface, every whisper said when you thought you were alone. And maybe, just maybe, they don't reflect you at all. Maybe they show you what wants to be seen. When the lights go out, mirrors become something else, darker, almost alive. It isn't only your face staring back. Sometimes you catch the flicker of something standing behind you, something that blinks a fraction too late. Around the world, in the quiet corners of folklore, the mirror keeps showing the same face. A girl, a woman, a shadow. The names change, the stories change, but the feeling is the same. If you stare too long, something will stare back. Tonight, we open the second part of our Mirror series. Different continents, different names, but one truth. This is Whispers Behind the Glass, Part 2. In Japan, children know better than to be dared into school bathrooms after dark. The game is simple. Find the third stall on the third floor. Knock 3 times and ask softly, "Hanako-san, are you there?" If she answers, you've called her spirit, a little girl, always in a red skirt, pale and waiting. Some say she'll drag you into the stall. Others say she won't be in the stall at all. Instead, she waits in the mirror above the sink, smiling when you shouldn't be smiling. There's an incident whispered around Tokyo. A group of schoolgirls filming on a phone. They knock, they laugh nervously. The stall door opens by itself. But the real terror isn't inside the stall. It's caught in the mirror behind them. A girl in red, smiling at the wrong angle. And the video cuts off before the screaming ends. Hanako-san is the ghost of a child, forever bound to a bathroom mirror. But when you pull back, her story is just one face of something older. Because Japan isn't the only place where a woman's grief or violence echoes through glass. Travel across the ocean and you find another reflection. Not in the stillness of a bathroom mirror, but in the black surface of water. And when you lean too close to that reflection, you might hear her cry. Across the world, the glass becomes water. In Mexico and across Latin America, the story is the same. A mother drowned her children in a moment of rage and regret. Now she weeps forever. La Llorona, the weeping woman. Children are warned not to go near rivers at night because she searches for little ones to replace the children she lost. But water itself is her mirror. Stand at the bank, and sometimes the river doesn't just show your reflection, it shows hers. A pale, distorted face, hair streaming as if underwater. A fisherman once told of casting his net at dusk. The surface of the water rippled strangely, and a woman's face appeared, as if leaning over him. He looked up, but no one was there. And then the wail rose, a shriek that made the water churn as if something beneath it wanted out. La Llorona's story is of motherhood twisted into eternal mourning, but even that has another echo, a similar shape in another land. Further east, In Malaysia and Indonesia, the mirror belongs to the Pontianak. Not born from rivers but from childbirth itself, a woman betrayed by her own body, trapped in rage. Where La Llorona searches for children to claim, the Pontianak searches for anyone foolish enough to look at her too long, and she waits, not just by the rivers, but in the mirrors that hang above your bed. At first, she appears beautiful, soft-spoken, but in the mirror the truth crawls through. Her teeth long, her nails sharpened, her eyes empty. Students in a hostel in Malaysia whispered of nights when the mirrors shook on the walls, scratching sounds, like fingernails dragging against the back of the glass. One girl swore she saw her own reflection smile before she did, and when she touched the glass, she felt it breathe warm against her palm, as if something pressed back. Across the world, mirrors have always been more than glass. They're not just reflections, but thresholds, thin, fragile boundaries where the living and the dead might lean too close to one another. In India, Bengal, there's an old tradition. When someone dies, every mirror in the house is covered. They say it isn't only respect, it's protection. They say the soul of the dead lingers for a time, confused, searching for its way. And mirrors are traps. Thin glass doors where the newly departed might see themselves, become caught and never leave. So families drape them in cloth, heavy, dark, suffocating, until the funeral rites are done, until the spirit is led away. But sometimes, just sometimes, a mirror is forgotten. A small one maybe, a hand mirror, a shard of glass. And when the cloth is lifted, days later, people swear the reflection isn't theirs anymore, that something else is staring back. A face they know is gone, a face that shouldn't still be there. There is a story from Murshidabad of a grand zamindar's mansion. The mistress of the house died suddenly, and in the chaos of rituals, one mirror, a tall Belgian mirror in the corridor, was left uncovered. Servants began to whisper that at night her figure stood inside it, her hands pressed against the surface, as though breathing from the other side. When the family priest finally tried to cover it, the cloth clung to the glass like damp skin, and a face pressed back against the fabric. Years later, when the house had crumbled into silence, children dared each other to lift that heavy drape. One boy did, and he said he didn't see just himself, but a woman, leaning close, her lips almost brushing his ear. He never repeated what she whispered to him. In fact, he never spoke again. Even now, the mirrors of that house remain hidden beneath cloth, because once something finds its way into a mirror, it doesn't leave. It waits. It makes you wonder if the mirror really holds on to them, or if it lets them slip back through. Japan, Mexico, Indonesia, India. And that's the strangest thing. Different continents, different names, but when you strip the stories down, the figures overlap. A girl in red, a woman in white, a grieving mother, a betrayed spirit. Each culture calls her something different. But what if they're all looking at the same shadow, pressed against the glass, only showing us the mask we're ready to believe in? If you stand too long in front of a mirror, you'll see your own face. Stay longer, and maybe you'll see theirs. And now, we leave folklore behind and step into the present, because the mirrors haven't gone silent. They've just moved online, through TikTok screens, through viral dares, through rituals being repeated again. The whispers haven't stopped. Shut the door, kill the light, and don't look too closely at the mirror, because what if? It's looking back,